Me, a global affairs analyst, Conley Fallow, to discuss the rising tensions between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Thank you for joining us on A World Now. Well, this Israel-Palestine war has left thousands dead, many of them children and women. As an individual, how do you see all that is playing out in the Middle East at this time?
Thanks for having me. So this is definitely a tragic moment. It's a sorry state of situations in Israel and Gaza particularly. People are constantly dying. Aside from the bomb attacks and the grenade and the rocket launches at the hospital in Gaza City, there's so many humanitarian crises going on. Gaza has a population of about 2 million people. And majority of this population are, children and women and aged individuals who are older, and it's very saddening to see the spate of incidents going on over there in the Gaza Strip, and our heart goes out to them. But that nonetheless, it's tragic to say the least, and the way things are going right now, we're optimistic that they will need that humanitarian supplies, and hopefully before 48 hours it should be able to get to them, because every minute, second, and hour counts, and the people of Gaza, they severely and daily need those supplies to keep them afloat.
And, Israel has said it's not against humanitarian aid, getting to Gazans who have been affected by this confrontation. And then, of course, Israel has been receiving visits in the last couple of days. The U.S. President Joe Biden has been there. Rishi Sunak, the British Prime Minister, has equally visited. How do you see this visit impact the ongoing war?
U.S. President Joe Biden did very good by going to Israel. It hasn't happened before. A sitting U.S. president has never went to Israel in the middle of a war to visit, and that kind of shows you that the United States is really deeply committed to making sure that Israel triumph in this war going on. And most especially, what was commendable, during the visit, was the fact that he informed and made sure that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is aware that those humanitarian materials and stuff that they need in Gaza do go to them, because they need it. And most especially the fact that he also promised $100 million in the form of humanitarian aid to make sure that the people of Gaza get that help that they need. And that is very commendable, aside from the fact that the international community, Western allies, are supporting Israel. The people of Gaza are quite important in this trajectory. They need to be protected also. Hamas is the militant group who's using the Palestinians and the people of Gaza as a shield to cause chaos and rancor. But the bottom line is that is not to say that the people of Gaza should not be protected. There are, technically they're pawns in the hands of the Hamas militant group. So for the fact that the U.S. president and some other international community are saying that the people of Gaza also need to be protected, and supporting the fact that international aid should be going from the Egyptian border going into the Gaza Strip is highly commendable. And like I said before, in between 24 hours and 48 hours, we should be getting those materials delivered to them.
And indeed, getting help is commendable. But don't you think that cessation of hostilities it might just be the way to go? I mean, that would just mean that there is peace on all sides. How soon do you think that could be achieved?
So it's unfortunate that originally Joe Biden was billed to have a meeting with the Israeli prime minister and also his cabinet, and also reach out to the Arab team and the leaders of the Arab world and have a meeting with them also. But unfortunately, the incident that happened, the bombings that happened in the hospital in Gaza City, they kind of overshadowed the meeting. Everybody kind of left the meeting, and it couldn't hold. Unfortunately, that would have been perfect time to listen to the grievances of the Arab world and our Arab leaders and prefer a lasting solution, because as it is, it appears that the Arab world are sympathetic to the plight of the Gazans and the Palestinians. So having to have a good conversations with their leaders would prefer a fast solution to this crisis, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But UK Prime Minister Richard Sunak is billed to also visit Israel, and hopefully there are conversations and dialogue and discussions going on with the Arab world, with the leaders of the Arab world, and that's the best way that we could see a cessation of hostilities among between the Palestinians, or the people of Gaza and Israeli.
And do you see any political undertone in this war, considering how different countries have appeared to be taking sides in this confrontation?
And it is so unfortunate that we're seeing a division in the ideologies of global powers. You find that some, particularly, it's about 22 countries in the Arab world, they seem to be, like I said, sympathetic to the plight of the Gazans, and Western allies are, they're supporting the Israelis. Every country has a right to defend its territorial integrity. That's set. That's understandable. But nonetheless, we need to look for ways that non-violent ways that we could table our matters in dispute. And let's not forget that Hamas is a terrorist group, and there's been hostilities between Israelis and the people of Gaza for so long. It's been an issue that's been happening for so long, and this escalation has just deepened that crisis. So on the long run, we'll need to have those conversations between the Western allies and the Israeli team, and also the leaders in the Arab world. And that's the only way that we can have a lasting solution to that crisis in that region.
Indeed, I know we've been seeing protests in different parts of the world. I'm curious, how effective do you think these protests could go in achieving peace, sustainable peace in the Middle East?
I would say that we call on every individuals to apply caution and give peace a chance. We understand that people are so distraught. It's disheartening to find that bombings are going on and rocket attacks are being launched on the hospital that's supposed to be a safe haven for a lot of people. And unfortunately, that was happening. People died. There's so many conflicting figures as far as how many people lost their lives that, at the hospital in Gaza City. That is unfortunate, and it has further deepened the crisis in that region. But nonetheless, we appeal for calm, and let's reason together. There's no way that fighting and hostilities will resolve the issue. It's dialogue that's the best way. And also, let's not also forget that there are over 130 hostages that's been taken forcefully by the Hamas militant group. And in those 130 people, among them are U.S. nationals and UK nationals who are dual citizens at some point. So this is also, pending, and we're not sure how they are currently. So we need caution, and also all hands must be on deck. World leaders need to come together in this particularly troubling times in the life of the world and find a lasting solution to this ongoing war.
Very important, because the humanitarian tragedy is of immense proportion. I must sincerely appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with us at this time. Kunle Falowo is a global affairs analyst. Thank you for talking to us on World Now.
My pleasure. Thank you.